Hello, everyone. Welcome to our third community planning meeting. I'd like to welcome the people on Zoom as well. If you've seen the first slide, this is our community priority survey. If you'd like to complete it during or after the meeting or when you get home, that'll be great. This is a good information tool for us because we get to see what everyone is needing in our community. My name is Celeste, and I am the CD Grants Manager in Community Development for the City of Killeen. We have 3 staff members here with us. We have Morgan, she's our CD Specialist, and we have Savannah Brady back in the sign-in room. She's our ADA coordinator, and we're borrowing her to assist us with this meeting. We also have 2 CDAC members, Ms. Bracey and Ms. Cossey. Thank you for coming. Oh, I'm sorry, and Ms. Donna. I forgot Donna. She's up there taking care of our Zoom meeting. She was up there, and I couldn't see her, but I appreciate you, Donna. Okay, this is our community planning meeting for fiscal year 2026-27. Actually, it's our program year, 26-27. Today is February the 19th, 2026, and this is our third community planning meeting. We had 2 last week, and this is our final one. Okay, we're going to be discussing the planning process, our community survey, and the 2025 to 29 consolidated plan priorities included in the CON plan. Our elements of the planning process begin with the citizen participation and planning, which includes today's meeting. In-house, we're going to be doing a housing market analysis, a housing and homeless needs assessment, and then we open our application periods. And then CDAC, the Community Development Advisory Committee, evaluates and prioritizes the applications, which go to as recommendations to the City Council. We have a public hearing. Our first one is on June the 16th, I believe. And we open a public comment period for the annual action plan program of activities. And City Council decides on the 17th or the 21st of July on how our program is going to look like for next year. Our program begins on October 1st through September the 30th of next year. We have another public hearing in which doesn't have to do necessarily with the planning process, but it opens a comment period for our consolidated annual performance and evaluation report, which lets HUD know how we did all year with our current program of activities. Our community planning meetings comply with our citizen participation plan. This provides us citizens an opportunity to participate in the development of our annual action plan and addresses community needs and priorities. Our community priority survey provides residents an opportunity to have input on community needs for consideration during the development of our action plan. And the survey topics include housing, infrastructure, public services, and economic development. Activities utilizing CDBG, home, and home ARP funds must benefit low and moderate income persons and or low income areas. Our program year 26-27 annual action plan is the second year of our 5-year consolidated plan. Activities must meet high priority needs that are described in the CON plan and include goals to address and meet those needs. High priorities included in our consolidated plan include public service needs, housing, infrastructure, tenant-based rental assistance, and the geographic basis where we're going to be undertaking those activities. These are only some of the high priority needs. And so the assessment areas for our annual action plan for next year will address public service needs population-wise, whatever the population needs are. For housing, it will be construction or rehabilitation of housing. For tenant-based rental assistance, it will be for homeless or at risk of homeless. And our geographic basis is for target areas. We have 3 target areas. We work citywide, but we have 3 target areas that we try to do the most work in. And we'll go over those in some next slides. I'm sorry. Okay, our clean HUD entitlements. So we're going to go over entitlements overview, our grant activities, and our program year 25-26 allocations. The City of Killeen as an entitlement receives funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development through the following grants. Community Development Block Grant, which is CDBG for short, Home Investment Partnerships Act Program, HOME is short for that particular program. And in 2021, the city received a one-time award of Home American Rescue Plan funds to address the need for homelessness assistance and supportive services. CDBG activities must meet a national objective, or one of the 3 following national objectives. Need to benefit low and moderate income persons. Activities need to aid in the prevention or elimination of slum and blight, or activities that respond to natural disasters. Home activities must be used strictly for affordable housing initiatives. Thank you, welcome. Development, such as development and or redevelopment of units for tenants and owners, or for rental assistance. We haven't received a notification of what our 2026 allocations are going to be for either program, but for our 2025, which is the current program that we're in, we received $1,350,070 for the CDBG program, and 65% of those funds were allocated to park projects, to code enforcement, and to the housing rehabilitation program. Public services, we have a 15% cap on the entitlement that we can expend on public services, and we expended $202,510.50 on that. For administration and planning of our CDBG activities, we have a 20% cap on our grant. Under home, we received $545,001.73, and 75% of that funding was allocated to our housing programs, which include first-time homebuyer program, affordable housing development, first-time homebuyer. Did I say first-time homebuyer program? I did, didn't I? And our tenant-based rental assistance program. 15% of the home allocation has a requirement of a set-aside requirement that needs to be available for community housing development organizations, CHODOs for short. And then the administration and planning of home program activities has a 10% cap that we can expend on that. And it's going to be around the same allocation for our 2026 program year. Hopefully a little bit more. Okay, for community development block grant, this program allocates federal funding to states, cities, and counties, as well as tribal communities. It supports a neighborhood approach to improving physical, social, and economic conditions within communities. And of course, we discussed that it needs to meet at least one national objective, benefit low and moderate income persons, aid in the prevention or elimination of slum and blight, and for urgent needs. At least 70% of the city's funds must be used for activities that benefit low moderate income individuals. These activities can assist through limited clientele, and this is benefiting a specific group of people, 51% of whom are low moderate income. And this can be homeless services, senior services, youth services, healthcare services, counseling. Area benefit activities serve a residential area where at least 51% of residents are low moderate income persons. And activities that we can undertake under area benefit are neighborhood park improvements or construction of neighborhood parks, street improvements, curb and gutter, sidewalk improvements, water and sewer, housing. Activities need to provide or improve permanent residential structures for LMI households. And we also have the job creation or retention. These are usually under economic development activities. And these are projects that create or retain permanent jobs, at least 51% of which are held by or made available to low moderate income persons.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
70% requirement, is that the city requirement? Or
No, it's a HUD requirement. It's a federal requirement. Okay, under prevention, elimination of slums and blight, activities must address physical conditions of deterioration or decay. On an area basis, it addresses blight within a specific area designated under state or local law. Under a spot basis, it addresses specific instances of blight outside a designated area. That can include demolishing of unsafe or dangerous structures. Urban renewal completion, these activities are necessary to complete a previously approved urban renewal plan. Urgent needs or urgent community development needs, these are very rare, and they're designed only for activities that alleviate recent emergency conditions that the city is unable to finance and other sources of funding are not available. It can be done under public facility improvements, and that would be a reconstruction of a publicly owned hospital that's been damaged by a tornado or by an earthquake, demolition of structures that are severely damaged by a major earthquake or tornado, and public services like additional police protection to prevent crime in an area damaged by a recent hurricane. Interim assistance activities can also be undertaken, such as emergency treatment of a person's health problems that are caused by a flood. Your qualification for funding area is 51% or more of the persons in a census tract earn incomes at 80% or below of the area median income. For a household, the HUD income eligibility equals to 80% of the area median income. And this is for Killeen, Temple, Metropolitan Statistical Area. The median family income is $88,900, and these are 2025 figures. And the table shows the household size. If it's one person, 80%, you can't earn more than $46,050 on an annual basis. Eligible population examples would be extremely low, moderate, middle, or large families. Families with children, the elderly, public housing residents, unaccompanied youth, chronic homeless individuals, mentally ill persons, persons suffering from chronic substance abuse, victims of domestic violence, and veterans. Our public service priority needs include youth and senior services, homeless prevention or homeless services, transitional housing for domestic violence, healthcare services includes mental health as well, meals to address food insecurities, and transportation, overall transportation or specific transportation for seniors or for other populations. Our housing priority needs, we have housing rehabilitation, housing assistance, like the first-time home buyers program, affordable housing development. This takes care of multi-year family or multi-housing developments. They can be for elderly or for families. Workforce housing. This is housing that is constructed or is close to a work area. For example, maybe a manufacturing plant or for persons that can't afford, or they make more money than to be eligible for subsidized housing, and they don't make enough to purchase housing, market rate housing. Neighborhood revitalization and demolition and removal of slum and blight. Infrastructure, public facility priority needs, funding for the City of Colleen-owned facilities and infrastructure improvements or facilities that serve a public purpose and the eligible populations. Rehabilitation, reconstruction, and new reconstruction, street, curb, gutters, sidewalks, sanitary sewer, and water lines. Parks and green spaces, including lighting, benches, and landscaping, and also replacing needed playground equipment. Architectural barrier removal for accessibility improvements. Our geographic priorities, we have 3 target areas that we mainly work within. And like I said, we can work citywide, but our local area is the small local area is the one that is outlined in black. And to the north is the boundary between Colleen and Fort Hood. And to the west is 10th Street. To the south is Veterans Memorial Boulevard. And to the west is Fort Hood Street. The North Colleen Revitalization Area is one that was approved by City Council, and this includes the area that is outlined in yellow, and it has the same boundaries except for the west. For the east is W.S. Young Drive, and then it goes down to Terrace Drive, and then south or north a little bit on Tremere Avenue, and then across Hallmark Avenue to Fort Hood Street. Our North Colleen local target area large is outlined in green, and it goes all the way down to the Central Texas Expressway and then west to Fort Hood Street. Our tenant-based rental assistance priorities. These funds are to provide monthly subsidy to homeless persons at risk of homelessness, and they do need to be very low or low-income persons. Rent subsidy includes deposit not to exceed 2 times the monthly rental amount. Fair market rent rates published annually by HUD are the acceptable rent standard for the jurisdiction. However, rent reasonableness must be made with comparable units throughout the entire city. Okay, and our Home Investment Partnerships Program. This program was created by the National Affordable Housing Act of 1990, and its purpose is to provide decent, affordable housing to lower-income households, expand the capacity of nonprofit housing providers, strengthen the ability of state and local governments to provide housing, and to leverage private sector participation. Home requirements. Home does have an affordability period, and this means the length of time that an assisted unit must remain affordable to low-income persons. The minimum affordability period is 5 years, and it goes all the way to 30 years, 20 years, depending on how much funding is allocated to the project. Matching funds from the community, 25 cents for every dollar drawn, and it can be in cash, in kind, donation of services or materials. And then we have the required set aside for community housing development organizations, and that's 15% of the annual grant from HUD. Home eligible activities and population. Activities must be used for affordable housing initiatives. This includes rental housing development or preservation, home buyer activities, owner-occupied rehabilitation, and tenant-based rental assistance. Income for households may not exceed 80% of the AMI for home buyer owner activities or 60% for rental activities. And then finally, we have the Home American Rescue Plan, the Home ARP program. This program was appropriated under Section 3205 of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. Funding is to be used to reduce homelessness and increase housing stability for the benefit of qualifying individuals or families who are homeless, at risk of homelessness, or are in other vulnerable populations. Hallmark grant activities that are eligible. You can acquire, rehabilitate, or construct affordable rental housing. Activities under supportive services can include childcare, life management skills, job training, locating housing, rental fees, any of the supportive services listed under the McKinney-Vento Act. Tenant-based rental assistance is assistance for monthly rent and utilities. And then the development of non-congregate shelters will provide private units or rooms as temporary shelter, not requiring a lease or an occupancy agreement. Home ARP activities must benefit one of the following qualified populations: homelessness as defined by 24 CFR 91.5, at risk of homelessness as defined by the same, fleeing or attempting to flee domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, stalking, or human trafficking as defined by HUD, or they need to serve other populations where providing supportive services or assistance to prevent homelessness, or would serve those at the greatest risk of housing instability. This includes veterans and families that include a veteran family member that meet one of the criteria are eligible to receive Home ARP assistance. Our Home ARP allocations, these were funds that were allocated to each activity. Under supportive services, we have $413,837.85 for non-congregate shelter, $500,000 for affordable rental housing, $200,000 for tenant-based rental assistance, $400,000, and to administer and plan these activities, $266,796.15. This is a one-time grant that was allocated back in 2021, and we have until 2030 to expend the funds. Okay, we have important dates and links. Our grant cycle timeline for program year 2026, fiscal year 2027. In February, we undertake our community planning meetings. We had 2 last week and then 1 today, our final one today. In March, we have pre-applications available for March 6th until the 20th. And then we also provide pre-assessments on any project or program that you are wanting to discuss with CD staff. We can help you with eligibility and with what program would be the better one to apply for that particular program. In April, we have the annual application for funding. If you are eligible under our pre-application, you automatically go over to the full application for funding, and that'll be available on the 1st of April to the 24th of April. In May, we have our CDAC Community Development Advisory Committee review and evaluation for funding recommendation. We usually schedule 3 days. They usually take care of it in 2 days, but we have that extra day in case they need the extra day, from the 12th through the 14th of May. In June, we have our first public hearing, opening the comment period for the annual action plan, and that's on June the 16th. And then in July, we have our second public hearing, and this is where the City Council receives the final comments on the program of activities and also takes action on the annual action plan. And this is July the 21st. Our important links, of course, we have the community planning virtual meeting for today. You could access it on this website, or our community priority survey will be open until March the 4th, and the results will be up on our community development website. Our pre-app technical workshop is on March the 5th, 2026, from 10 a.m. to 12. This is a required meeting for anyone wanting to apply for funding, and you can access it through this site. And pre-application access will be available on March the 6th, and it'll be up on our community development website. Our activity and program pre-assessments with CD staff, you can email our CD Grants Management or MGT at KileenTexas.gov, and any of our CD staff will be able to assist you with that. Okay, and don't forget to respond to our community priorities survey. This is going to be very important for us to be able to develop our housing strategies and our homeless activities. And we can open it up for talking or anything you want to come up with, and you can come up to the do you want to? You can come up to the microphone because we want everyone to hear. Any questions that you might have or any comments that you might have. And if you can state your name as well. Thank you.
My name is Teresa Cassie, and the question I have is, what is the average rental rate for Killeen?
Well, we have different rental rates. It just depends on what the number of bedrooms you're looking at. I don't have it in front of me, but I can certainly get it to you.
Okay.
But it's different depending on what the needs are. If you're looking at a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom, up to whatever size your family is.
Okay. And the second question is, as far as job development within the areas that we are looking at targeting, have we worked out any proposals for any organizations or companies to come in and try and target those areas?
We have not. We haven't had any contact from anyone wanting to do that, but the funding is certainly available for those activities, and we can assist them with it.
Okay.
Do we have any Zoom questions? Any questions on Zoom?
How do they get copies of this presentation?
I'm sorry.
They want to know how they get copies of the presentation.
We can probably put it up online, up on our website.
That's the only question. So
Mhm. Or they can leave their email and we can send it to them as well. Anyone else? Any other Zoom questions? No? Just one. Okay, if there's no other questions, you're always free to call us. Let me give you my phone number is 254-501-7845 if you want to call me directly, or you can email me as well. My cards are out in the front, and it's under C. Sierra, KillingTexas.gov, at KillingTexas.gov. Okay, don't forget to attend our pre-application workshop. That'll give you a lot of information as to how to apply for the funding, and it is required for you to attend to be able to apply for the funding.
a question.
You have a question? Okay,
Yes.
great.
It's from Maureen Joy.
Joy, okay, if you can,
If you received ARP funds in the past, can we reapply?
yes, of course. Mhm. Yes. We're always looking for good activities.
Would you give your number again?
My phone number is area code 254-501-7845. And my name is Celeste.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we also have, oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to let you know that we also have Councilwoman Gonzalez. Did she leave? She left already? Oh, I'm sorry, she was here. And then we also have Mr. Murphy from Parks and Recreation. He's our Executive Director of Parks and Recreation. If anyone has any questions reference to parks, he'll be happy to answer them. Thank you. No more questions? No Zoom either? Aw, okay. All righty, no problem then, that's okay.
I did have a question.
Okay, if you can come up to the microphone.
It's pretty simple. We were talking last week, and you said something about that matching program. Is that listed for community businesses to get involved in helping to sponsor for that 25 cents on the
Okay.
every dollar?
This is going to be only for it's a match required, a required match for any activities that are undertaken with home program funds.
Okay.
And you have to at least contribute 25 cents for every dollar that's allocated to your project or your activity.
Okay, so if our project is included, I didn't know if that was just open to the community to
No, and
contribute.
no. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know that, I mean, if you have an organization that you want to contribute funding to, that's perfectly well too. But this is only for a required match for activities that get home funding.
Okay, I understand.
Not
Thank-
home ARP. Home ARP was kind of made under the home program, but it's a totally different program.
Okay, I
Okay.
understand now.
All right.
Thanks.
Any more questions, you can always call me.
Miss Celeste,
Yes.
I put my email in the chat to request a copy of the slides, if I may.
Okay. If you leave your email address, we can certainly go ahead and send it to you. And I'm going to check to see if we can go ahead and post it up on our website as well. Anyone else? No? Okay. All righty, you can always call me or email me with anything that you want to say that you don't want to say in front of everybody. Okay? Thank you. We appreciate you.